Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining another Nerdthusiast Podcast. I'm your host, Ed. I'm here with my friend and co-host, Frank D. Ray. Frank, how are you today, my friend?
Good to see you, as always.
Yes.
Long walk across the
back
the
street.
parking lot there.
Yes. And we are continuing our artist series today, and we are interviewing another good friend of mine, someone who I've known for a very long time, Zach West from Zachary West and the Good Grief. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, man. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. It's been a while since we spoke, and it's been even longer since I've seen you. So I appreciate
you. Been a long time.
Yeah. And I know we've been talking about this for a little while, and life gets in the way sometimes. We'll when I saw that the album was releasing and you had the release show coming up, I was like, we got to make sure we do this, and we got to get it out before that happens to get you some press, to get some people there, because the album's great, dude. I've been listening to it a lot. It's really, really good. And
thank you so much.
It's I've been hearing your voice for forever, and
whether that's for the better or for the worse, but
it's a great thing, man. It's a very comforting thing. It brings me back. It's like nostalgic for me. And I don't think I've talked to Frank about this yet, but I met you when I was recording bands out of my dad's condo in Jackson.
Oh, wow.
And I was in high school. So I was thinking about it, and what was it? Probably 20 years ago when I first met you then?
Dude, yeah, I think I was, had to have been, almost literally had to have been over 20 years ago, because I think the first time that we met, the first time that I tracked with you, I was 17, maybe? Yeah. So we've known each other a long time, and it was funny because I was looking back in the text I was talking to somebody about doing the podcast tonight, and I was looking back and I'm like, oh, we've been trying to plan this since August, and then I was like, damn, it's been a long time, and then I started thinking about that, and I'm like, yeah, but we've also known each other way longer, trying to do the timeline for everything, and I was like, dude, this is crazy. It was 17 the first time that we met.
Well, it's kind of ironic because I guess maybe about a month or so ago, we did a little podcast with two guys that I went to high school, and it's not 20 years ago. I'm just going to let you know that. It's more like over 40 years ago. And obviously things were way different back then, but they performed at our school, these two guys, and they're still good friends and still do stuff together, but they had a band back, and this is in the late 70s, early 80s. So it was like pretty
20,
cool. And I haven't really
20, 30 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's all good. Music is good. Music is good music.
Yeah. And
absolutely.
And Zach, I was trying to piece this together with a friend of mine, because we were just also another local guy. We were trying to figure out because I know you came in with Learning Takes a Lifetime. That was the band that you came in with and recorded.
Yeah.
But how did I get connected with you? Were you playing with The Years Gone By at any point? Is that how we first met?
Yeah. So the first real band that I was in was a band called, technically it was it started off as Morning View. It was my freshman year, and it was with all the dudes, most of the dudes from Learning Takes a Lifetime. And then we kind of changed a couple of members, became Time Will Tell. And then we found out there was a band from Florida called Time Will Tell who was not happy that we had the name. I think they reached out to us through mp3.com or something like that. To really
volume,
dude, it was before that. It was before that, definitely. So when we found out we had to change the name, we went with The Years Gone By, and I was with them for a while. I think I quit my senior year of high school, junior year of high school, something like that. And then, then Learning Takes a Life. I think Kickstart and then Learning Takes a Lifetime. Kickstart turned into Learning Takes a Lifetime.
Yeah.
It's just one into the other.
Of course. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how we got connected, because I tracked some of the stuff for The Years Gone By.
Yeah, that's how.
That
first
demoing some things out, and then I maybe through there, then we got connected, and you were playing with James Cathers at the time, right? Yeah. So that was fun. Listen, man, those songs come up on my shuffle every once in a while, and I keep them on, and I sing along with them. I know the words. It's great.
So
Awesome.
weird, man. It's crazy. It's funny. I like my wife listens to Learning Takes a Lifetime. she'll always throw like a reference at me every once in a while. It's
That's
very
awesome.
funny.
That's awesome. And for the people listening, I lost my voice a little bit, so if I'm laughing and it's barely coming out as a squeak, I'm sorry that you have to listen to this.
I get more speaking parts, and that's it.
Yeah, I guess I'll just have to shut up eventually. But so tell us about Zachary West and the Good Grief. How'd that get started?
Sure, man. So Zachary West and the Good Grief was never supposed to be a band.
Okay.
It started during like literally the first month of COVID lockdown. Um, I had just quit a band that I was playing with that was, trying like gun ho to be a full-time band, and I could not do it anymore. I love playing music to play music, and it was just stressful, and it was running me down. So when COVID happened, it was kind of like a welcome shut in, like welcome shutdown. So musically anyway. So I just kind of like, we were home. I was like, I'm going to teach myself how to actually record something. I've been playing music for so long. I have no concept of any of this. All my friends are home that are working at a studios or know what they're doing. So like I had this like plethora of information at my fingertips, and I just got a couple things and I started tracking. And so I literally started tracking right when lockdown happened in March. And by I think July, I had put out the 3-song EP. Um, and it was never supposed to leave my house. It was just supposed to be me in this room and on my couch when I was like kind of like pacing out drums and writing drums through a
So this COVID created like a lot of things where it sounds like people just improvised and did something different to fill the time, or
it was
just have fun.
Whole
It's
learning
like,
curve.
Okay, I got some free time. Let's do something here.
For sure. So
I have to ask about the Good Grief though. Is that from Charlie Brown reference?
No, actually, it wasn't.
That's what I think of Good Grief, because Charlie Brown always said Good Grief. Yeah.
And we have like, some Charlie Brown bootleg stuff and things like that. But it's, I was thinking about a sort of name that kind of meant something. I like forgot what I was watching. Actually, it was Gilmore Girls. My wife was rewatching Gilmore Girls for the 1,000th time. And I think the grandma said, "Good grief." And it was like during all that. And I was like,
I found it.
It was funny. I like thought about it and I'm like, good grief, what does that even mean? And then I thought more about it and I was like, well, what does it mean to me? And I kind of like broke it down in the easiest way. It's like, I consider myself a very lucky person. It's kind of one of those things where I have a tendency to complain about stresses and things like that, but it's also like good problems, we're like, oh, I'm so busy, I'm doing this thing, I got this going on.
It's
like
positive stuff. It's
exactly a good grief. So
okay,
that was
all right.
That was kind of my whole mindset.
Like that.
And I was like, oh, Zachary West and the Good Grief. I like that. So I just kind of went.
No, when you know, and sometimes it's just something that you don't think will come the way that it comes, but
for sure
it gets there, and you're like, that's it.
Yeah.
And throughout my ring to it. So
thanks.
Good choice.
Throughout my entire life, I've never wanted to be in a project with my name. And I was like, oh, well, it's just going to be me. So what does it matter? If I'm just doing all this stuff, then it's holding myself accountable by putting my name in it. So I was like, cool, it's going to be great. I don't have to worry about it. It's my name. I'm never going to play. I'm never going to do this. Fast forward to the fall. I got a text, I think it was on Thanksgiving. My friend Dan, who sings in the Wonder Years and songwrites and sings and plays guitar in Aaron West and the Roaring Twenties, he texted me and was like, hey man, I'm doing a show at House of Independence. It's already sold out. I'm just looking for a couple friends to play. Koji's on it. Do you want to open? It's just acoustic. We're keeping it low key because of the COVID restrictions and everything. And I was like, okay. I mean, how do you turn that opportunity down?
Of course, yeah.
I was like, yeah, sure. That sounds great. Immediately started practicing and doing all this stuff. Long story short, show ends up getting canceled because COVID flared up.
Mm-hmm.
So when the show got canceled or rescheduled, I should say, when the show got rescheduled, I asked Dan, I was like, hey, so like, since we're pushing this off for a little while, is there a chance that you'd be cool with me like playing with a band next time? Because I don't want to be up there by myself. I need somebody else to blame if something goes wrong. You know, it can't just be me.
Of course.
Sounds fair.
So he was like, yeah, so long as COVID's fine, I don't really care. That's cool with me. So it's Dan's fault that Good Grief started, because then I asked my friends. I had played in a band. Well, I've been playing in bands with Rick, who's our drummer, for a while, and I still play in athletics with Jimmy, our guitar player, and Brian's a longtime friend, our bassist, and kind of, it was funny, like during COVID, I watched Brian, like he was like playing bass on Instagram and stuff and just kind of like putzing around, just like getting into another hobby like all of us. And he played in bands for a long time before, and he was a drummer and then a bassist and kind of went back and forth. Brian's always been a great friend. So I turned around and asked Brian to play and start playing bass. So we all kind of like just jumped into it, and literally from like the first practice with all four of us, we all kind of like looked at each other and we were like, dude, this is like a lot of fun. Like, this is really cool. We have a band dynamic, even though it was my kind of stuff. And we immediately started writing together and adding parts, and it was just this cohesive thing where we were just having a good time. So, now having my name as the band name isn't really the best thing, but they have a tendency to call me boss every once in a while, to give me a hard time, which is not the best for somebody who is so anxious about stuff like that, where I'm just like, no, I don't want this. I have actively tried to change the band name, I think like 5 different times, and every time I'm like, nope, sorry dude, you did this.
You're stuck now. They know it bothers you, that's why.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't think you should change it, because I really like that name. So
thanks. Well, the records, we put out an EP and now a full length.
Nice.
I think it's here to stay, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, that's great. That's great. Now, I think your friend who got you that original show is playing with you on the record release show on the 18th, right? So I guess it's a good time to talk about that.
Let's plug your show.
Yeah, let's plug the show. So tell the nice people about the show that you have coming up.
Yeah, so we're celebrating our record release. We're going to be playing at House of Independence in Asbury Park on April 18th. Doors are at 6:30. Tickets are on sale right now. And we have Jay Waltz opening, who's a killer artist from around the Asbury Park area. We have Mercy Union, who is one of my favorite bands out right now. Absolutely incredible. Dan Campbell, who is going to be doing a solo set, who sings for Wonder Years, plays in Aaron West and the Roaring Twenties, and then we're going to be doing our set, just playing a bunch of songs from the new record. So
Asbury Park is really, actually, that's where we were last weekend. We went down there just to grab a bite, and it's really changed and hopping now. A good buddy of mine comes into town a lot to go hang down there, and and I know they really got a lot going on, which is awesome. I mean,
yeah, it's
good to see stuff rebuild back up to some degree. They've always had stuff going on there, but I think it's getting more and more.
It's really nice though. There's a lot of really nice spots, and I've played out there a couple times with Regency Club that I'm in with my buddy Kyle, and every time you play out there, it's just something about it. It's a nice place to be, just to be surrounded by, there's a ton of musicians there and people who want to hear good music. Right. So it's fun to do that.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Like there's definitely a really solid community out there. It's always been a town based on music. So, we're very excited. Our first show is at House of Independence. It felt right to go back there and have that be there for the record release. So we're very stoked to have the gig there.
I mean, are you headlining it? Are you going?
Yeah.
Cool.
We made the call. We're gonna headline. Initially, awesome. We were like, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a kind of a weird thing. We're just going to celebrate. We want to put a bunch of bands that we love on a show and kind of do it that way. But yeah, we're gonna headline, and we've got some cool stuff planned, and we're definitely really excited to play the songs out live. It's
awesome.
It's been fun, man.
That's great. Hey, you guys deserve it. You guys put together a really, really great album. I've been listening to it a lot, and so I'm excited to. I'm hopefully going to be there. I'm trying. I'm locking down babysitters right now. I think we're going to be able to make it work. So
I know how crazy that can be for some people. So my wife and I currently don't have kids, but we have a lot of family that has and friends who have recently started procreating, and the wildness that comes with all of that is I give so much credit.
It's one of the hardest things you could do. It's one of the most rewarding and the best things that I've ever done. You did.
I did tell you.
You did tell me that in the beginning. But it's
but said it's more work than you can ever imagine and more fun than you can ever imagine. So basically,
totally.
I forget who told me that, and my son's all grown up now. But it's the most truest statement. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so I think we got it locked down. So I think we'll my wife and I are gonna come. We're gonna a couple friends trying to make our way out there. It's a bit of a hike for me these days. So it's
where are you living now?
Yeah, I'm over in Burlington County. So
okay,
it's about an hour. It's not
not even. It's a little less.
A little less than an hour.
Depending on when you go, but a little less than an hour.
When I was living in Jackson, it was great. It was
then you're closer.
Right there,
30 minutes. But yeah, so so that's great. I hope everyone listening, please, if you're local, please try to go check it out and make sure you check out the album. Go to the show if you can. It's I know it's going to be great. So I wanted to ask you a little bit about, you mentioned you playing with a friend of yours in athletics. So I've seen you post things about them recently. I think, if I'm not mistaken, you posted something recently. Is it 4 million streams or something on one of the stream? I guess across all streaming platforms.
It's across just Apple Music.
Oh wow.
That was just for Apple Music.
That's great.
Yeah, athletics is
incredible.
It's been wild. We kind of unintentionally, again, life got in the way. We unintentionally took a hiatus back in 2016. John, our drummer, moved home to Rochester. Garrett started a family. I got married. My business started really taking off. So it was just kind of like everybody's life just really started going for it. So we just kind of let it take a back seat. We started other little projects and things like that here and there. And we always knew that we were coming back to it. There wasn't any like weird ill will or anything like that. There wasn't like I don't talk to that guy anymore. Whatever, the band's done. We literally text and talk every single day. So
that's great.
It never was a thing of like, yeah, we're done. It was just, we'll get there when we get there. So we started demoing and tracking out a record back in 2015. And that is the record that's coming out at the end of May. So
well, later you got there. That's
we got there. It just took 10 years. So
sometimes that's the way it needs to go. You got to do it.
I'm very happy that it took as long as it did. And we are where we are now, because honestly, with the opportunities that we've been given over the course of the last couple of years, last year we did a tour in China. And then, we're going back in the beginning of May this year to do 2 festivals. We're playing with Mono, which is going to be great. It's been amazing. We played at Post Fest in Indianapolis last year, last summer. That's when we did it. Woo, time.
It all blurs together. Time just blurs together anymore. Who knows?
Yeah, it's all right. But yeah, it's been really great, man. We're very thankful, super lucky. Things have been really fun. So awesome. It's a lot to fly to the other side of the world to go play a few shows, but it's
what an experience!
What
an awesome experience to be able to do that.
There's people that I reached out to. I have friends who are touring musicians and things like that. And when we got the final tour confirmation that we were going to China, I was like, I need any and all information from all sources that I could get to. And I reached out to a lot of friends who are in full-time touring bands, and I was like, hey, so what do I do?
And how does this work?
Give me the quick and dirty guide to go into play there.
Oh, yeah. And the crazy part was most people were like, how the hell am I supposed to know? I've never been there.
Oh, wow.
So we just had this like, okay, I guess we're going. And it was unreal.
Yeah. So one of the things I always ask people is, two things. One is, who did you follow? Who'd you get your inspiration from as far as musically wise? And let's start there. Tell me what was it specific genre of music, bands, different genres together, kind of your own sound? You tell me.
Yeah. So when I was growing up, a lot, I mean, like I immediately, when I was young, my dad, I distinctly remember hearing Nirvana and hearing Green Day in the same car ride with my dad.
Right. So in the 90s, right?
Yeah. So my dad had like these singles from like labels. You remember like the cassette tape singles that they used to sell?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was Nirvana. It was a promo tape for Nevermind and a promo tape for Dookie. So
singles they were called.
Yeah.
So I remember.
So I remember sitting in the front seat of my dad's like Geo. Like he popped the tapes in. I was just like, oh my God, what is this? Rock music.
This is incredible.
Yeah. So that, that always stuck with me. And then as I grew up and got a little bit older, my cousin showed me MXPX for the first time. And I was like, what is this? This is so cool. This is like Green Day, but happier, more fun, So it was stuff like that where as I just kept going. And then, I always used to buy CDs with the most amount of songs on them. So I bought MXPX Let It Happen was like one of the first like punk CDs that I remember buying myself. And I went through and just like read all the liner notes and then looked for like the thank you sections of other, looking for other band names. And then I would buy those band CDs and go through that. And then, when I started working when I was 14 and all I did was spend money on music. So I used to go to Hot Topic because I always had those like punk compilations. So I'd buy like a comp CD that had like 30 bands on it or 20 bands on it, listen through that and find bands and spiral from there. So it was always like, it was definitely always deep seated in like melodic punk and melodic hardcore. Right. That was always my thing. And then I found Explosions in the Sky when I was in high school when Earth Is Not a Cold Dead Place came out. And that just like flipped me over, that totally brought me into a whole new style of music and everything like that. So I listen to everything. I mean, I was listening to Gracie Abrams' record like earlier today, and I listen to kind of like everything now. But
there's something to be said for that because I like a lot of different types of music,
totally.
And I think a lot of musicians, and I'm not a musician, I was a former DJ, but I think a lot of musicians that we've talked to definitely cross over to different types of sometimes totally different, that they like or listen to depending on their mood or what
look, man. Look, a hook is a hook. It doesn't matter. Exactly. A hook is a hook. If a melody or a lyric or anything resonates with you, it's for you, and that's all that matters. Yeah.
You'd be surprised too, is like listening to all these different genres of music, how little parts of the influence from there comes out in your songwriting or the hook you put together or some of the backing. It's always something that's in there from that's why it's great to listen to different things.
And that's the perfect segue to my other questions. And that's why I waited. Not really, but do you consider your music a specific genre and some people don't, and that's okay. I don't try to pigeonhole anybody. Like if it's something that's just different or you think is a mix, that's great. Or, what do you think?
I mean, I think we're I think we're definitely in the punk emo adjacent world, but we're definitely very much inspired by our like 90s pop rock
Okay,
upbringing.
there you
You know what
go.
I mean? It's
That's what he
it's
said.
you
I
know,
said I listened to a little bit, and by the way, you sound great.
thanks, man.
Were you singing?
Yeah,
Was that
yeah.
Yeah,
okay?
Zach saying, yeah.
Zach, voice sounded great, and I listened to a little bit of music, and I said to Ed, I said, sounds like a little bit of '90s pop, and 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 I'm
Yep.
glad you said it. So
Yeah.
I feel like okay, and like I said, I look at music. If you like it, you like it, and it doesn't matter where it fits in. And like I said, I think a lot of people who are just music junkies, they're looking like you know, you're looking like, oh man, I found this. Oh, let me try that. And you stumble upon stuff that's really cool sometimes.
Oh yeah.
And you sit there and go, oh my God, you got to hear this. You got to hear this, you know, and as somebody, like I said, I used to DJ, I used to find stuff. And the cool thing for me maybe this resonates with musicians. For me, it was finding that song that nobody knew, but that they would dance to and got into, you know what I mean? Something that, you know, like there were places where where I used to play where it's like, okay, they want to hear this or they want to hear that. And of course, you wanted to play stuff people knew. But when you had that brand new something that came out that nobody knew, but you had people get into because of the sound or the lyrics or anything, that was the cool thing for me. Like I liked that, hey, this worked. And not that it always worked, but when it did work, that was like, I don't know, that was like a cool feeling. And
Yeah, totally.
From a musician standpoint, you know, you guys would know, you know, when you try something that you don't know if it's going to work, and then you're like, oh, wow, we got a great reaction from the crowd, better than we thought. Or, and again, things don't always work, but trial and error is how, you know, most people have figured things out over the years. So many musicians, I'm sure, you know, trial and error. Hey, let's try this. Didn't work.
That
We
didn't
try
go
that.
over.
Oh, wow. And sometimes you're surprised. Like, I mean, I'm sure like sometimes you might be like, this isn't my best, but hey, people like it. Let's go with it.
Well,
so
it's a weird thing when you're writing music, and Zach, you probably feel this way too. Well, you'll put songs together and you'll think to yourself like, I don't really like that one that much. I'll just, you know, I want to finish it. We'll put it on the whatever. And then, because this happened recently with the band I play in, and then we weren't playing it. We weren't playing the song live. We weren't using it. And then we tried it one time, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, where'd that song come from? That's the best song." I was like, "Oh well, you know, we didn't really care for it, so we didn't play it."
But again, you never know.
Yeah. It's happened with my stuff that I wrote too. It's you know, I kind of like bury a track because I'm like, I'll put it at the end. I don't really care for this one. It's like, oh, this should be the first one. Like, why didn't you do that? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's totally true. There's definitely songs where like we've been playing and writing them where I'm just like, oh, is this like it's mostly when I demo stuff, I'll really like drive the point and just be like, okay, like I'll send it to the band and be like, this is really rough. Please don't hate this. Like, you know, and just like I'll track something and I'm not sure about it, but then it was like, oh, I like the chorus, or like, yo, this melody is really cool, or you know, the guitar part here is rad, and it's funny because I was so nervous. I just posted about this recently on Instagram, but we have an acoustic song that closes out the record called Light, and it's just a short little thing that I started writing. It's like possible new song. And I had it on my phone for a long time, and I was like, oh, I kept going back to it, listening to it. And I'm like, oh, I can't really add anymore. It's kind of cool as this like little cohesive thing. And I showed the band one day, and I was like, hey, like, what do you guys think about this? And we started talking about it, and I was like, this might be cool for like an outro to the record or something. And it ended up like, we're like, oh, maybe we'll re-record it at Rob's. And this was like even after we're all done tracking the record, I showed the band. It was like, what do you guys think? Maybe we'll tack this on to the end. And everybody's like, yeah, great. And I was like, cool. I don't know how to play it anymore. It's been on my phone so long that I don't remember how to play it. So yeah, if we go to retrack it, I'm going to have to try and figure that out. And sent it to Rob, and it was like we just decided it was perfect the way that it was, with just my iPhone sitting on my coffee table while I sat on the other side of my room just putzing around. And it's cool. Like you can hear my dog like shake in it at the end of it.
That's awesome.
It's
Yeah, I
cool.
heard
It's
that.
like it was a very neat moment for me, just sending that to the band and having everybody be like, dude, this is great. Like, I like this. This is cool. So,
That's
and it
awesome.
just kind of like really came together, because the record was only supposed to be the 12 songs that we tracked at Audio Pilot. So it worked out.
That's yeah, and I think I mentioned this to you when you told me about that, about recording it, in your living room. I just think it's such a cool, it's very much a part of you that's on that album. It's like this is in my home that I did this. It's very raw. There's parts of your life, like you said, your dog in the background. But it's really cool to have that. I love that. That's a really nice touch to put on the end to wrap it
Thanks,
up.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a little bit of hope at the end of that song. So I figured with all of the heavier stuff that's on the album, I was like, this would be like a nice little like.
So it's called Light. You said it's called Light.
Yeah, the song's called Light.
Okay.
very cool. I wanted to ask you. It's kind of a tough question, but on the album, is there a particular song that's your favorite, or is there a moment in a song that when you're practicing, you're playing, or when you play it live, like that's like a part that you look forward to? Because I have mine from your album, so
Oh, all right.
I'm curious to hear if you have one.
You get bonus points if you got the same thing here. So.
um, it it's cool, man. There's definitely parts throughout the entire record where I remember us writing it or working on it, and I was like, oh man, I love this. Like, there's just these things, and it's little stuff throughout like the entire record where I'm
So
just
it's
like,
more the history of how you did it,
yeah, and like,
than
but even like
maybe the
hearing,
song. It's or the part of the song.
for sure, like even hearing it from like start to finish, like I have the acoustic demo of it on my phone, or like Jimmy sent the demo of him like working the song out, or things like that, where like I hear that part come to fruition, and I'm like, oh, it hit, we did it.
That's
But I
great.
think one of my favorite parts on the record, just because it was a lot of fun to do it, um, is there's a group vocal part in High Wraith, and we just did it all together in the room live, and I have these videos of us doing it, and
Oh, cool.
it's funny. Like it was a good time doing it. I can't speak for the other guys and say that they had the blast doing it, but I sang like 99% of the vocals on the record, so it was nice
Mhm.
to like have them with me doing that in that moment, and us doing it together. So
Cool.
like I'll always hold that that moment close. So every time I hear it, I'm like, hell yeah, we did that. Um, but yeah, there's different parts of different songs. I think
Cool.
one of my favorite songs off of the record uh, is probably dude. It's so tough. Like
I
pick
know.
a
It's a hard question. It's a hard question.
It's a hard question, but
You
I
don't
think
have to have a favorite.
You don't have
It's
to.
okay.
And I think your answer was great, and it just reminds you of a time of a recording album or something that happened that was connected to it, which I think is awesome. Now, my favorite the favorite moment that I've found, it's actually in Vacation Zigs.
oh hell
At
yeah,
the last time I think you sing through it, and it's all in my head, and then is it all in my head? Like when you go up high that last
yeah.
time, that's the spot. I'm like, yes, Zach, do it, go. I
Thanks,
love
man.
that part. I found myself replaying that part a lot
You
just
love
because
that.
I can't sing it right now because my voice is still not here. But so hopefully that didn't sound too terrible. I didn't want to butcher your song,
Oh,
but
dude, no, that's
but
awesome. I'm stoked
that's
you like it. Thank you. That
yeah,
means a lot.
it's
That
really
that
cool, man.
song was
That's
a lot of
flattery.
fun.
You know,
Yeah,
he enjoys it.
that song was me trying to write like an Everclear or like Third Eye Blind song.
Mm.
So we had to do the. I've been trying. In Jimmy and I have played in a few bands together, and I've been trying to get him to like. He's so good at guitar, man. He's so crazy talented. everyone that I play with is so crazy talented. Rick is my favorite drummer. He's one of my favorite songwriters, and he doesn't even consider himself a songwriter, but every little thing he adds, it's awesome. So
that's great that you guys have such a good chemistry and you like each other. And
yeah, man, we have so much fun.
And you have
it's great.
fun and enjoy each other's company, because it's a lot of work. I mean, you guys know. I mean, you both know how much work goes into trying to put stuff together and have, several people on one page. And there's not always, but there's egos, and there's people that we don't get their way all the time, and there's times you got to make decisions for the best of the group. And and that's, I'm sure at times it's tough, but it sounds like you got a good bunch of people that you guys appreciate each other, as well as work together to get a common goal, right?
Musicians,
and the respect part is huge, obviously, and that's important.
Definitely, man. So when we first started playing together and we talked about actually making it a band and doing it, the thing that I always said from the start is, if not everybody's on board, we're not doing it. I don't want anyone to ever feel like this is a stress in their lives. I want this to be
Absolutely.
the getaway for everybody.
Sure.
So every single aspect of it, I don't want anyone to feel stressed at all by playing music. This is supposed to be fun. Playing music is inherently fun. So I just wanted that for everybody. So anytime anybody's like, oh, I can't make a practice, or hey, schedule's kind of off, or this, that, the other thing, oh, I don't know if I want to play this show or not. It doesn't, nobody's like, oh, come on, man, what the hell? We got to do this, bro. We got to play, whatever. And everyone's like, all right, that's cool. Who cares?
That's a good respect factor there for sure.
I mean, dude, you have to. It's supposed to be fun. If you're sitting there and being like, this isn't a job for anybody. I don't want it to be a job for anybody.
No.
And that's the whole thing. It's we just want to have fun. We want to write cool songs. We want to play them for people. We like using the gear that we've spent all this money on, so.
And the talent. It's nice when, multiple people bring something to the table, different talents, that's cool. You're sitting here saying how you respect, how talented your drummer, your guitar player, and that's cool that you guys have the mutual respect, and like I said, that I'm sure will take you guys a long way, because it's tough. I'm sure, you've played in a bunch of bands, so and it's interesting to me. Always see the different dynamics when we've talked to different musicians, and this sounds great, and that's awesome. You guys are enjoying the ride.
Definitely, yeah. I am by far the least talented musician in Zachary West and the Good Grief.
And
by
humble
far,
too, even better.
Yeah, give yourself some credit, man.
Well, no, what I was saying before. So with Vacation Sig, I've been playing and writing songs with Jimmy for so long, and he's such a ripper on guitar. And I wanted him to just do a straight 90s solo for so long, because his favorite bands are from the 90s, and they're all guitar heavy, everything like that. So I've always wanted a spot in a song to just be like, yo, just go off, just solo. And when I wrote Vacation Sig, I was sitting there doing the demo of it. I'm like, I gotta do what is this kind of third verse thing? I don't really have any other lyrics I want to put in this
guitar solo.
Literally, I'm just doing it.
Guitar solo.
I'm I'm gonna keep this, and I'm just gonna tell Jimmy, here,
Jimmy, you're up.
Figure it out, dude.
Go.
You go ahead. And he worked, cool. Dude. He worked on that solo. He had all the parts scattered out of what he wanted to do, and he was writing it while we were in the, or finishing it off while we were in the studio. And it was so cool to see where he started and where it ended up.
Now I know what's going on it.
Yeah, it's recording is, lo and behold, it is everyone's favorite part of being in this band. We love writing and recording music. We do little breaks in between practices where we just all set up at Rick, our drummer's house, and we go through, we just demo out all of our songs ourselves, And then this way it's like, oh, we can hear everything that's going on. Everybody kind of has a general sense of like what we're doing, and it helps us like really flesh out all the songs and write them. And then when they're, you know, all set and ready, we go up to Byram Township, New Jersey, and we record with Rob Freeman at Audio Pilot Studios. And dude, that studio, it's gorgeous. It's laid back in the woods. It's like an Airbnb. Like, it is awesome. We have so much fun. Rob is a great guy. He does amazing work.
Yeah, he did a hell of a job with the album. He did. It sounds really, really good.
He did. And honestly, like, he's so patient. I am not great with harmonies, and Rob is a genius with harmonies. So going through and like working on stuff with him is unbelievable. There's a lot of really funny moments. They're funny now. They weren't at the time when I'm like in the vocal booth virtually having a panic attack because I can't get these two notes. But Rob's like, oh my God, just do it. You know, it's a really great experience up there, and we always have a really good time. And it's nice to just kind of be away and focus on solely that. And that, I think, speaks to a lot of how the record came out. We recorded the entire record, I think, over the course of 13 days.
Wow.
Split between, yeah, it was split between 2 different sessions. We did 7 the first time and 5 the second, or 4 the second, because Light was, yeah. Or no, I was right. Yeah, that was right. Math. Oof.
Math.
Yeah. Math. So 7 and 5.
You're a musician, not a mathematician today, right? That's it.
So, I have one other question I wanted to ask you, but that's unrelated to music. But I do have one more music question for you, because I think it speaks to when you're saying, you know, we were talking about before, looking at, you know, other bands to find out and like show them to other people. And I think this was you. I always associate the band This Providence with you, because I feel like you showed that to me when you were recording at my house. So every time I hear that, I'm like, oh, Zach showed me this band. So I'm pretty sure that was you. The way you're reacting, it seems like it is.
Yeah,
so
I was definitely around that time was huge into everything that was like coming out of Seattle. I feel like, you know, there was this huge thing in the early 2000s where all these bands that were based out of the Seattle area that worked with Casey Bates were just getting signed left and right. I love Gatsby's American Dream, This Providence, Forgive Durden, you know, all those bands that started blowing up around that area. I still listen to all that stuff.
Yeah, me too.
It's the good. Ocean, I think, is the song from This Providence that I loved. But yeah, dude, I mean,
that's a great song.
Yeah, all those bands are phenomenal.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad my memory is still working somewhat. So one other question I wanted to ask you, unrelated to music, is about your business. I know you mentioned it earlier, but you know, but Zach is a small business owner, so I just, you know, plug that a little bit too, man.
Absolutely.
Sure, yeah. So I am the owner, founder, formulator, whatever, of a personal care line called Sheer Revival. We are on our 12th year in business now, and yeah, I mean, it's been great. I'm a barber by trade, hairstylist. I've been for 18 years. So when I first started doing hair, I kind of like fell in love with the product industry that went along with it. And I kind of always thought that like that would be such a cool thing to get into. And, you know, I just always thought you just had to have like millions and millions of dollars and, you know, get into some lab and have them make all these products for you and all this stuff. But over time, I realized that like, oh, you can kind of start from the ground up. And I started making some beard products, and then I was like, oh, you can make like pomades and stuff. So it kind of like spiraled from that. And then I got like a crash course in cosmetic chemistry from some friends at a cosmetics lab locally. Wow. And I kind of ran with it and have learned from there. And yeah, the business has been great.
Good to something from the ground up and kind of learn a lot of things as you go. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I've always been I've always had the like DIY ethos sort of thing going from just playing in bands since I'm, 12. So it's one of those things where you're just kind of like, I was like, all right, well, I got to learn. If I want to do this, I got to learn how to do it. And you just kind of run from there and figure it all out. And, now we have 7 employees. We have a 3,000 square foot warehouse in Eatontown, New Jersey, where we formulate, make, distribute, it's everything's all right out of there. It's all made here in New Jersey. So I'm very thankful. It's crazy that we are where we are. It is the only job that my wife and I have. It's pretty wild.
Well, as Ed will tell you, if you have a kid, you're going to need 3 or 4 more jobs.
Trust me, I'm used to that. I actually, I'm like I said, a barber stylist. Just a few weeks ago, I left my job working behind the chair 2 days a week. And this will be the first time that I'm going to have weekends off in 16 years.
Oh yeah. Wow. If you were cutting hair for sure.
Yeah. So I'm still going to be cutting, but it's just, I'm cutting back a day.
Doing your own time.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like my, I'm very thankful for everything that this company has brought me and everything that my career path has brought me. And it's funny to see the crossover between music and business and how everything just kind of flows through. But yeah, it's been a really incredible time, and thank you for bringing it up. I'm super thankful. If anybody's looking for any personal care goods, it's all plant derived, some vegan, some not. But if you're looking for anything that's made by hand, that is, health conscious, eco conscious.
So you get my gray hair black again, or
I don't know about that, but I can I can definitely make you look Zach. Good. Look, man, you don't. I tell all of my customers, all my clients, anybody that gets in my chair, we are very lucky as men. Just in general in the world, especially as a white male. Yeah. I'm not going to go down that road and get this thing going weird.
Absolutely.
However, we're very lucky in the sense that as we age, it's normally we're looked silver fox. We're looked at as more handsome by getting older.
Right. Guys look distinguished. Girls are like, I got to get that one gray hair.
I got to get that
head.
I got to get the roots.
No, absolutely. And,
you know what? You can say that, but like Meryl Streep, come on.
Yeah, no, I agree. But not too many women can pull it off, though. That's the difference. Whereas more,
I think people are inherently crappier when it comes to women, so that's kind of where that goes. But
for sure.
With guys, I tell all my clients, it's like, hey, don't dye your hair. Nobody looks good with dyed hair.
Yeah,
it looks
true. No,
terrible.
You can usually tell most people with it for sure.
Yeah, well, exactly. You get the dye top, and the beard comes in gray. It's like, come on.
No, we got
There you go.
I'm nice and
so I had
mine too, buddy.
I had gray hair when I was 16 years old. I had a little bit right here, and I had jet black hair. So people have known that because it was something unique and different. So, I couldn't hide in most cases with that. But that's the beauty of Nerdthusiast, man. We can talk about anything on our shows.
Yep.
We do a lot of different things, and we like
music to hair tonight.
Exactly. Wherever the conversation takes us is always the way to go, because it's nice and like we said beforehand, nice relaxing conversation.
Yeah,
we
go where it goes, and enjoy the company that we have.
Hey, absolutely. Yeah, I hope I've been great company.
But it's been awesome, man. I mean,
absolutely.
It's been great to catch up a little bit after all this time,
and
I really appreciate you making time to do this. and we'll put all the information about the band and the show and your business in the notes when we put this out. We'll try to get it done quickly. So I'd love to have this out before the release show.
That'd be awesome.
So I'll try to get this done quickly. But yeah, it's been a pleasure having you, man. And best of luck with everything, with the band, with the business. It's just all the best to you, man. You're a great dude. Man. So it's great to see you doing well.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much, man. Thank you so much for having me. This is great.
Hey, appreciate having you on the show, Zach. I'm gonna try to come out too. I mean,
hell yeah,
I'm right in your head, so
man.
maybe we'll get out there and go check it out. But I'm gonna listen to I heard a little bit of the album, like I said, sounded great. A couple snippets, but I'm gonna listen to the rest of it now. Ed's gonna send it over to me, and I'll double what Ed said. Best of luck with everything, with the music career, with your business as well. And we really do appreciate you taking the time to sit with us and have a good chat on the Nerdthusiast podcast.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. And to everyone listening, thank you. We'll catch you on the next one.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Just a show for status, throwing a filter on a memory, but I think we can agree we'll be bitter if it ends. If we can't figure out just what we've been missing as we watched what the world's become, it's all gone. Just want something, it's gotta be better than this in the end. And if my body's truly a temple, why am I sifting through the rubble, trying to find the strength to rebuild again? Somebody tell me what I'm doing here. 'Cause I got nothing, I got nothing, I got nothing. So it's too much all at once. I just want something, it's gotta be better than this.